Okay, today when we breathe in our first initial breaths, let's simultaneously breathe in the sun because the sun is shining today and it's offering us warmth as we move into the darkness of winter. But that sun is always going to be there. And that in and of itself is a limitless belief. It's a belief that despite the cold, despite the darkness, there will be sun. And in our brains, as we move towards winter, we are filled with sights and sounds of people talking about the onset of winter. We're hearing people who are mourning the loss of the warm weather that we had for a significant amount of time into our fall. We hear from people who are worried about the cold, who are worried about the darkness, who are worried about the time change. And yet, those beliefs we know limit us, and we can flip them in the drop of a hat. The time has changed, and yet it's brighter in the morning and darker at night. So, in order for us to embrace that instead of making it a bad thing, we can change our own clock, body clock. We can get up earlier to enjoy the longer sun. In terms of the cold coming, this isn't something new to us. And so we embrace the cold. We put on a sweater or a heavier coat or heavier socks. Or we find a cozy room in the house where we can curl up with a good book. Or we can learn to sing. But when our minds get hooked onto that darkness and that winter coming, if we allow it to do so, it can bring us down. And so we find the things that bring us joy. It might be listening to music, it might be drumming, it might be going for a nice walk with that crisp air on our cheeks, and then coming in and curling up with a blanket and a nice warm cup of tea or hot chocolate. And as we approach this new time in our lives, we can create an openness for things to come. So we could imagine how nice that coldness on our cheeks is going to feel, and then coming in and sitting down with a nice blanket. We can imagine how it's going to be when we've taken one or two or three singing lessons. It doesn't matter because we are moving forward instead of getting stuck. Because when we are stuck, we are limited. We are very limited in our beliefs. And there's a strong chance that we are bringing others along with us. And while we are not responsible for other people, we have that energy between us that's palpable. So when we are down, we might be infecting other people with our negativity. It is up to them. to bring themselves out of that negativity, but we have at least planted a seed. And while we do not want to push our negativity or our sadness or our grief away, we also want to set our boundaries or allow others to set boundaries with us. We might tell people right now, I'm not feeling 100%. Right now, I'm feeling a little sad. Right now, I'm feeling a little cold. But bear with me and I will move past it. Of course, there are times when the depth of our sadness or the depth of our longing or grief requires us to have some support. And as human beings, we have to know that that does not mean we are less than. It actually means that we have strength, that we know when we have to reach out. It also means that we know we have that strength to move past whatever it is that we are challenged by. And we will do so because we've done it before. And when we start to realize or to bring awareness to any limiting beliefs that we have, instead of allowing them to stay in our brain or in our minds, we also want to open our awareness to where that is residing in our bodies. Because a part of a limiting belief is that we are on some level aware that we have a belief system. And we just have to unpack it. We actually can limit our beliefs and we can open our beliefs. We can believe that we are good singers. We can believe that we are good teachers or parents or friends or partners. And the more we believe, the more we are going to hone that skill. The more we are going to bring all that is required of us into our daily life because we believe. And when we falter, we can still believe that we can get back. We can believe in hope. We can believe in love. Love for ourselves and love for others. And we can access that belief through our actions. Through our actions of self-care, self-actualization, but also in the giving to others. And so when we look after ourselves, and then we also help to look after others, we are, as the little picture book says, filling each other's buckets. And when we deplete our bucket or we deplete the other's bucket, it impacts all of us. Because we truly are a village. where we can help each other. We can share our discussions of limiting beliefs and possibility, our discussions of what works for us as human beings and what's not. We can share what's on our minds and in our hearts so that others may learn from us and we may learn from others. This village can be very, very powerful in our lives. And in opening ourselves up to possibilities, as we free ourselves from those limiting beliefs, we also want to go deep into our hearts. Deep into our hearts to know that we are all worthy of love and freedom and peace. And the more we accept that about ourselves, the more we are capable of sharing it with others. The truth is that love will always win if we are able to access it. Love will always light our path, no matter what journey we find ourselves on. And so for the next little while, we might choose to sit with possibility or sit with love until you hear my voice again. May all beings find light in the darkness. May all beings see possibility. May all beings find peace.